As an independent artist, I sometimes struggle to know exactly what genre of music I make. Do I make pop? Do I make indie pop or synth pop? Do I make a folk and R&B hybrid? What do those names and titles even mean? In the modern music world, which is dominated by streaming platforms, music has become incredibly accessible to listeners, but it's also become very influential for artists and what music they create. Not only is that obvious through the clear inspiration and genre blending that most modern-day artists employ into their music, but it can also lead to some issues for up-and-coming artists like myself on how to promote your music and to which audience you should promote it to. Today, I'm going to talk about a few things to keep in mind while trying to overcome these hurdles. To start, let's look at a few genre-based playlists on Spotify. As you can tell, there are quite a number of them. You might be wondering, what happened to just rock and roll and pop and contemporary music? Well, throughout the past few decades, music has adjusted quite a bit, at least in the genre department, because essentially all genres are subgenres at this point. They all kind of point back to, well, I guess the first notes that were written down technically.
Let's go through a little bit of history, shall we? There are a few spots I want to highlight. What song was the first one that was written down? According to History.com, it was the Hurrian Hymn number 6, sometime around the 14th century BC. Now, this is not necessarily the oldest song, but at least the oldest song that was first written down. Now, the next kind of spot I want to talk about is the Pythagoras theory of music, which links harmony to simple whole number mathematical ratios. So the Greeks had an understanding of the relationship of math and music together, well before Western music started.
One historical spot I did forget to mention was around the 900s AD. During that time, there was an anonymous collection of material called the Musica Incuriatis and the Scholica Incuriatis. It was a collection of different types of harmonies. It had the earliest descriptions of polyphony and notation, and also providing insights into modes, chants, and performance practices.
Now, in terms of Western music, there's not really one artist that sort of founded everything, but some of the key composers would be Gioseffo Zarlino. In the 16th century, he was the first theorist to base harmony on triads, so that is certainly a big part of Western music. Obviously, we have Johann Sebastian Bach, who really is the father of harmony, that's his title, and most of the music that we have today has been strongly influenced by him. There's actually a very interesting article by the National Library of Medicine, and it's labeled, "Bach is the Father of Harmony, revealed by 1F fluctuation analysis across musical genres." Now, I did not know what the 1/F fluctuation analysis was. After doing a quick search on it, I'm still a little bit lost, but it kind of has the concept, the studies of systems where the power of fluctuation decreases proportionally to the inverse of the frequency. I don't exactly know what that means. It's some sort of mathematical understanding of the influence of music. Now, once we get past Bach, there's obviously all of these different eras of music. There's the Baroque, classical, romantic, and then modern and contemporary music. And then what follows is this massive break in music history for Western civilization, and that is the beginning of pop and jazz music, which really was the landing point for all of the music that we have pretty much since then. All of our genres and subgenres of music have really stemmed from jazz and rock and roll, and in turn, jazz and rock and roll mostly stemmed from Bach.
As a listener, I love being able to listen to anything and everything. Think of any combination of genre or style, and it probably exists. But as an artist, half the time I don't even know what influences I'm drawing from when I'm making my own music. And that's the tricky bit. If I don't know what genre of music I make, how can I promote it? You certainly have to listen to music a lot, but you have to do it in a specific way, by going to niche playlists that have a fixation on some form of media or other style or genre of music. Then you have to actively listen to the music and understand what it represents. It could be straight up R&B, which is about passionate relationships and is normally built on rhythmic pockets. Or on the other hand, it could be synthwave, which draws connections to video games, 80s sci-fi, and often futuristic and cyberpunk story elements. Whatever genre you're trying to get a better grasp of, listen to all of the elements of the music and focus heavily on external media connections. Another tool that I like to use is SubmitHub. A few of the features include song analyzers to kind of understand generally what genre has influenced your track. They also have Spotify score trackers, so you can understand what score you are in terms of the Spotify algorithms. And finally, and obviously, the submission tool that they have. You can submit your music to curators, bloggers, and playlisters, and they'll give you feedback on the song. Now then, after all of that, I do like to paint a positive picture. Though independent artists like myself have this challenge of defining genres, we should certainly start by keeping all of this information that we talked about in mind. By using these strategies, we won't only get a better understanding of where our music fits in the industry in its entirety, but we will also get more knowledge on public opinion. However, the best tool for success as an artist is to continue to write better music. Finding success in this industry is difficult, yes, but if we're not going to put in the time and the effort to actually enhance our skills and enhance our knowledge of music, no amount of promotion or advertising will really make a difference in the end. Let me know what you guys think of this more informative style video in the comments, and thanks for watching.